What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the King and I Life podcast, hosted by myself, Soul Toucher the Poet, and my brother, Son Soul X, in his joint. Check it out. Hit us up, www.kingandilife.com, for all our podcast info. Subscribe to whatever podcast platform that you choose. Also, hit us up, KINGANDEYE369@gmail.com. Email us your suggestions, your feedback, and all that good stuff. Tune in to us live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And make sure you like, subscribe, and share, because we are all over all those social media platforms. Stay tuned for the good stuff. Yeah, we out. All right, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, we back. Part 2, breaking points. Son Soul X, Soul Toucher the Poet, my brother in here.
Soul X.
Yeah, man. Got a little chopped up there. But we gonna jump back into this topic. So Son Soul X was talking about the resources that are right there at our fingertips. Everybody's fingertips.
Yes, sir.
The one thing that I wanted to say, and this kind of bumps its head against your position on certain things. Mm-hmm. But it's right in the line with the conversation, because you're known for saying you don't want to be the part of the system, you don't want to be part of the system, you want to be a part of the system. But here's the thing. We are in a society where you can pick and choose what parts of the system that you deal with, but there are parts of the system that you need and should utilize. So like when you were talking about, hey, go put yourself on child support, go do this, go do that. You have to understand that this stuff is not one-sided. It's not only in favor of the women. And that's something that I had to learn in my experiences. With the mothers of my two sons, and even with my stepdaughter, when my oldest son was young, I had a case of the ass. I felt all kind of ways because things weren't how, in my head, in my immature head, they weren't rolling how I thought they should roll. Did I reach breaking points? Yes. Did I want to act irrational? Yes. But at the end of the day, you have to understand that there is a right and a wrong way to go about certain things. I looked into doing things the legal way, but at the end of the day, I really didn't have a leg to stand on in what I was pursuing. So I had to fall back. And it's like, you know what? Hey, let me fall back. Let me be mature about the situation. Let me look at what's going on here and let time take its course. That worked.
Right.
Me and my oldest son's mother, we are best friends to this day. Yes, we've had our ups and downs. Yes, we both can say, oh, he got on my nerves. Oh, she got on my nerves. Oh, he this or she that. We both can say that. But we chose not to act irrational because, one, we had a child. And two, it's like, ain't neither one of us want them clink clinks. When it came to my second son, I knew what I could do, what I should do to make my situation better, and what I should not do to make it worse. Did we have ups and downs? Yes, we did, but we are the best of friends, and we don't have those issues. My stepdaughter's the same way. You know, I put a lot into her, and things didn't go how I looked, but I had to take myself and say, at the end of the day, I'm an outsider to this situation because that is her child. She does have a biological father. I'm just here, because I'm emotionally invested, but at no point in any of my situations did I feel like I needed to act irrational or say, oh, they're doing this to me and they're doing that to me, because as a grown man who sat back and looked at the situation, I had to say, you know what? Let me look at what I am contributing to the situation. That way I can make a rational decision.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with all the shit I've been through in my life, man, I've gone through my breaking points too many times to remember.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but each time I go through a breaking point, meaning mentally, I feel like I just can't fucking go on. Like, I'm done. It's a wrap for me.
Mm-hmm.
I find that, like you, I have to take a step back and breathe. Like, literally, just fucking breathe. Um, Everybody knows me. When I have situations that I feel are out of my control, I just step back. And that's
Mm-hmm.
me saying mentally, you got to put the brakes on.
Right.
So it's kind of like having gone through that breaking point, so many different times in my life. I find that it's kind of empowering to a certain degree. Meaning, just when you think you can't go on anymore, you'll find out you're a hell of a lot stronger than what you think you are.
I totally agree with you on that. Totally agree.
So,
Totally agree.
um, again, this gentleman, he thought that he couldn't go on anymore. And again, like I said, I'm not taking his side none whatsoever. But from a mental standpoint, as a human being relating to another human being, our breaking points are different.
Mm-hmm.
But some of us aren't aware enough to know that when you reach a breaking point, that means it's time to take a mental fucking break.
Mm-hmm.
That's time to step back mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, detach yourself from the damn situation, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to look at it from an outside standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
You have to kind of put it together like a damn puzzle. Okay, this piece doesn't go here. Let me move it over there. So forth and so on. You know what I mean? So, um, back to what we were saying with the resources, there are certain ways to get out of child support. I've seen it on the net that certain gentlemen out here have found that loophole. I can't
Mm-hmm.
recall who they were at the time, um, but it's one of those things you just have to do your due diligence to exhaust every possible source that you know and some that you don't know. Again, the information is out there. You know somebody who's going through the situation that you're facing right now. When it comes down to the legal process of child support and you know ex-wives and just this situation in general. Believe me, you're not going to be the first person, and I'm damn sure, pretty sure, you're not going to be the last person to go through this situation. So there's someone out there again, whether it's on the internet or someone who's gone through the process. Just ask them for their advice, man. How did you handle this? What did you find was the wrong way to do things, and what did you find out that actually worked, or what would you have done differently had you known now what you didn't know then?
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's just so many dang resources out here that people did not helping themselves out any by going at it alone. I promise
Mm-hmm.
you, anything you want to find anything out about, whether it's from working on your car, to how to bake a cake to how to tie your shoes. It's out here. I promise you, it's out here. Only thing you gotta do is just get on the phone, let your fingers do the walking, as they say. You'll find it. I promise
My thing about child support, let me put it this way. If you have a problem taking care of a child, then don't put yourself in the situation where a child can be produced.
you. Exactly.
Um, I get the child support system is horrible. Um, it's ridiculous. And I am fortunate enough with my youngest son that when we went to child support, she saw how ridiculous that was. And we made our own agreement because let me tell you, at the time that we were at child support, I was making about 25, 26,000 a year. That was my yearly salary. And them jokers was asking for like 1,100 a month. Now let that sink in. That's before taxes, but they were that's what child support is. They take your money before taxes. So me making 25, 26,000 a year and they're wanting 1,100 a month, I'll be on the street somewhere. So I get it. I get it's ridiculous. But here's the thing: if you are not financially in a place to take care of a child, don't put yourself in a situation where a child can be brought into this world. The other thing when it comes to that, if you decide that you are ready to have a child, make sure that you have a child with a woman that you have a very decent relationship with and that y'all communicate amongst each other how this is going to go, whether y'all going to co-parent, not be married, be together, get married, or whatever the case may be. That should eliminate a lot of the nonsense that led up to the situation that we're referring to. It should. Not saying that it always will, but it should. But the thing about it is another thing that talking about the resources and stuff, all three of these individuals were nurses. Um and here's the other thing. I know in hospitals they have employee assistance programs where they offer you free resources. Lots of jobs have them. I have it in the military. I have them with my job at Department of Energy. They send you a website. All you got to do is register, and you got access to legal, mental health, financial, uh, all types of stuff. So there is no shortage of resources out there. You just have to reach out and ask somebody. Is that it can be that easy.
Yeah, definitely. Um, like you say, if you don't want kids, put on your put on your rain suit, as they say. One of my closest friends told me when we were younger. He said, "A good soldier always go to war with his helmet on."
Always.
So keep that helmet on, meaning that condom on. Keep it on, man. You going in here first, right? So keep that damn helmet on.
Mm,
But I think we've gotten to a place in our society where we rely on someone else telling us what to do way too damn much.
mm,
Meaning, when it comes down to um, the child support system, again, it's one of those things I just don't agree with, and I'll leave it at that to a certain extent.
mm-hmm,
I just feel like if you're grown, you shouldn't need anybody to tell you to take care of your child,
Yeah,
whether you're a male or a female. That's man,
it's not rocket science.
yeah, it's not like okay, I took a chance and I rolled the dice. Dice came up, snake eyes. I lost. So with that being said, we often have to take care of responsibilities that we feel we don't want to. Now, whether you want the
Hmm.
child or don't want the child, you still laid there with that woman, so y'all produce this child.
Hmm.
And again, I'm not letting the women off the hook, but as men, we have to realize and understand 9 times out of 10, we are the ones who are looked at the ones who have to be responsible.
Hmm.
A woman, she can give a child up for child support. She can terminate the pregnancy. I mean, the list goes on as far as what she can actually do. And that's not taking a shot at women, but I'm just being real with you. You guys have more
Hmm.
resources than men. But um, as a man, again, you might not want to, but you have to do what's necessary to take care of your responsibility.
Right.
If you're man enough to create this child, then you gotta be man enough to damn raise it too, or be responsible with it.
Hmm. Yeah, and you know, like you said, no good soldier goes in battle without a helmet. But here's the thing: that helmet might have deficiencies.
That man.
Um, it may catch a hole in it. It may split. It's so many variables out there. But the thing about it is, again, it goes back to if you are not prepared for the possible end results of that situation, then don't do it. I get it. Look, I've been laying down with women for more than half my life, so I get it. It's a good feeling. It's all of that. I get it. Um, but for me, when my youngest son's mother was pregnant, I made a decision, and I said I don't want any more children. So I went and got a vasectomy. A lot of people say, "Oh, did that so you could have sex without condoms." Like, no, no. I did that because I don't want to put myself in a situation to where more children or I put more children on this planet more than I'm mentally, physically, financially, or emotionally prepared to deal with. To me, having two children by two different women is more than enough for me. And people was like, well, what if you get married again? Well, at this age, if she doesn't have children, she need to go find someone who can bear children with her because I'm done. You know, then I'm looking at the age that I was. And, you know, 16 years ago, I was 32 years old. Um, if I was to get somebody pregnant, I would be close to 40. At that time, I'd have been close to 40.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, do I want to have children that late in life? Nah. You know, do the math. Do the math of your situation. That way, you can mentally prepare yourself for what you want to or do or what you think you want to do. And you eliminate a lot of that nonsense out of your life because we all make choices. We all make choices. Sometimes we've all been there, we don't think about what comes after or what could come after those choices. So for this gentleman who had a situation with his ex-wife with their two children, I believe. Now, my this is my another thing that I look at with this situation. If you have that going on with your ex-wife and those two children, make sure that situation is resolved before you go start the cycle again and possibly have to deal with nonsense. Again, we weren't there. We don't know the ins and out of the situation, but I'm looking at it like this. If I have two children with an ex-wife and we have a whole bunch of nonsense going on, I know for sure I'm not getting nobody else pregnant, and I still have that going on because again, it's so much that we don't know, and I can only assume that it was chaos. And whether he caused the chaos or she caused the chaos, one thing's for sure, that woman is going to have some type of negative reaction to whatever he's doing to her concerning the kids that they have, and the fact that he may gets another woman pregnant, and how she's going to perceive that situation. She's not, if he's being a jerk to the two children that they got and they're going back and forth and he gets another woman pregnant, she's going to feel a certain way, and that's going to increase the chaos because she's going to be like, oh, you can't take care of these two kids, or you giving me all kind of nonsense with these two kids, but you're going to go get somebody else pregnant and live happily ever after. Nah, I'm not buying that. That's just my look on it.
And it's crazy that some females will actually think like that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you're not gonna just get with someone else and ride off into the sunset, especially having that new person uh, in your life and y'all are expecting. But here's the
Mm-hmm.
thing about it, right? When it comes down to being in a situation like this, I know everybody's not rational.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. And that's the crazy part about it is I hate that you and the other person just can't sit down and say, hey, you know, we didn't make it. It's a fact. We're never going to
Mm-hmm.
be the same or how we once were. But the fact remains that we still have this situation with these kids or this child. So let's
Right.
work it out in between me and you. And the first thing should be, she should be asking for how much can you afford to pay me?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
as a man, you gotta be realistic. Okay, chop up your numbers and look at your numbers. Say, okay, um, besides my cost of living, this is how much I can afford to pay you, whether that's weekly or bi-weekly or monthly. You two should be able to break it down like that. And if you have to negotiate, say, okay, well, if this is what you can afford now, um, let's revisit the topic in 6 months or a year.
Yeah.
Not only are you as the man responsible, the female's responsible too. Cause you damn sure didn't produce that child by yourself. So,
Right.
okay, if I pay this much to help on child support, this much to help on food, this much to help on clothing, you have to break it down and make it even for the both of y'all. Don't just put it on one
Mm-hmm.
person. Even if one person is making more money than the other, be fair and square about it. I'm telling you, there's nothing wrong with having greed, but when you are greedy, that's when you start effing up right there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know, man. It's kind of like one of those things where we as people, we love to have fun. We love to get our rocks off, as
Mm-hmm.
they say. But at the end
Right.
of the day, you got to realize there's certain repercussions that come behind that fun.
Everything has
Yes,
consequences.
sir. They definitely have consequences. So again, if you want to be out there rolling the dice like that, like your ass in Las Vegas, hey, you gotta be prepared when you crap out too, baby. You gotta be prepared.
Gotta
That's
be.
part of the game too.
Yeah, man. Gotta be. Gotta be. You gotta be. It's oh, man. It's just heartbreaking that, especially in our communities, that situations turn out this way. You know, it's bad enough for a lot of us that are my age. We grew up in one parent homes. Um, and this type of thing, I don't know how much it happened when I was growing up,
Right.
but I do know that it did not happen this much. And it's like, at what point did we as a culture get there? That's the disturbing part to me, because it's like, you know, we grew up in the era of the deadbeat dad. Like, Joker was just out the picture, gone, nowhere to be found. If she started yip yapping and blah blah blah, you ain't see that Joker. Like, I didn't meet my father till I was 25. I don't know all the circumstances around that, but that Joker was non-existent. And it's like, I would rather see that than what we're seeing now. Although neither one of those situations are favorable, but if you just walk out that situation, whether you pay child support and don't see your kids, or you just wipe your hands clean the situation, nobody loses their life. Um, yes, there are, mental and emotional pieces that have to be picked up and put together, but no one loses their life. And that's the thing. Life is too precious for this stuff to be happening, and it's just heartbreaking, because as a culture in our communities, we have way too much going on to add this to our plates. And it doesn't affect just those people, it affects everyone that could be remotely close to it.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. I mean, we have so many things going on within our community, so it's just sad. I'm not gonna say what it really is, but I'll put it nicely and say sad.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Let me give people some free game here. 'Cause I really feel like somebody needs this game right now. If you're gonna play, what I used to do back in the day, I put on
Mm-hmm.
2 damn condoms.
Oh wow.
I would, and in some cases, if I really felt some type of way, I would put on goddamn 3.
Really? That's
Yes,
extreme.
sir. Yes, sir.
That is
That's the game that
extreme.
was given to me, and I played. Um, but my
Wow.
reasoning behind it was, one was, of course, I don't want to have a child with this female that I'm laying with.
Mm-hmm.
We just poking fun, as they say. I don't want her to take it seriously, meaning end up
Right.
pregnant. Um, but once we're done, doing our deed, I go in the bathroom, take the condom off, put water in the condom, dry it off, and I'm checking for leaks my goddamn self.
Mm.
And once I see that there are no leaks, I take the condom, probably already done tied it off, but once I tie it off, I drop that sucker in the toilet myself and watch it go down the drain.
Mm.
That's how I was back when I was doing my thing like that. But for me, it
Wow.
was a caution thing. Again, I didn't want to be chilling one day, and next thing I know, I'm getting a phone call come talking about, hey, we need to talk. This we got a situation on the way, and you the father.
Oh
I'm like, no, the
man.
hell we don't. We don't
Mm.
have no kind of situation, because I know for a fact there were no leaks.
Mm.
That was just part of my routine back then. And again, I'm giving you the
Wow.
game so it help you out. 1,
Mm.
2, if necessary, 3 condoms. And it also slow down you having a fast disbursement. It also slow you down from coming a little too fast, as they say, spitting up a little too
Oh
fast.
Lord, leave it to you to throw some humor in there.
But yes,
Oh
go in the
man.
bathroom, put some water in it, tie it off, dry it off, check for leaks. You got no leaks, flush it down the toilet. That's how I'm gonna leave with y'all, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's part 2 of Breaking Points, King of Our Life podcast. I'm so touching poet, my brother.
Son, so Lex up in her.
We'll be back because I got to follow up to this.